Hi everyone, so I'm going to do a review of today's lecture showing you how to build this bar chart as well as this line chart for the global superstores data source. So if you don't have that, the CSV file is hosted on Blackboard. We're going to begin by creating a new worksheet here, and I'm just going to start with renaming this sheet and making the title more accurate. So we'll go top regions by sales. Now that already exists, so I'm just going to say top regions by sum of sales. Okay. Now to make this title bigger, we're going to double click and I'm going to center the text, make it larger font, so 28, and click bold. And I can click apply, and yes, that's good, so I'll click OK. Next step is to drag our data. We've got our green measures and blue dimensions. So we'll start with dragging sales to columns and then region to rows. Now you can see I've got a lot of regions here, so I'm going to want to create a filter on that because this chart is obviously only showing the top 4. In order to see what the top 4 are, I can click this button up here to sort by descending by my green measure value, and I can see Central, South, North, and Oceania are going to be the top 4 regions. To create that filter, I'm just going to drag sum of sales again over onto the filters pane, and then I'm going to select how I want to filter. I'm going to drag region over to the filters pane, and I'm going to select the top condition by field and type in 4 for sum of sales. So it's by this field, by this aggregation value, and click apply. And you can see all 4 are there. Now, something we should always do with every chart is make it full screen. So we can do that by this drop down in the top and go entire view. And now all 4 bars are taking up the entire width and height of my screen. Next, I want to customize the color into a gradient. So obviously I can change the color here and kind of hard code, so to say, and set a value. However, this isn't going to be a nice gradient. So what I can do to control that is drag sales onto color. And now, because of the value of sales is dynamically changing, the darker color indicates a higher number, and I can control that gradient inside of my color settings here and change to a nice purple gradient style. Next setting I would like to do is show data labels, and I can do that by again dragging sales onto label, and we can see those values here. They're quite a bit too small, so I'm going to adjust the font size again just by going into my label settings and then clicking the font setting here and going up to maybe size 14 and bold. Now these numbers are much too large in terms of how long they are, because this is 1,248,166. I don't think it's necessary for the exact value to be portrayed in the data label, so I want to format this to say 1.25 M for million. So in order to do that, I click the drop down arrow here on this green pill, go to Format, and then make sure I'm on the Pane menu, and then under Numbers, I'm going to click Custom Currency and make sure I go to Display Units, Millions. And we can control the amount of decimal places here. So I can go to 3 decimal places if I really wanted to be a bit more accurate. Okay, perfect. So that's looking pretty good. The only other thing I really need to change is getting rid of this card up here in the top right. I can click Hide Card. And then by changing the axis formatting as well, by right-clicking this, clicking Format. Again, this menu is here on the left-hand side, but we're going to go to the Axis section and change the same number setting to Currency Custom, and then Display Units, Millions. And you can see the same display unit. Maybe I'll do 1 decimal place this time, so it's not as cluttered looking. If I want to change the font size, I can do that here and adjust so it's a little bit larger as well. If you don't like how many ticks there are, see how there's one going every 100,000, I can right click this and edit the axis, and I can change the tick from being automatic to custom. Sorry, I can go to the tick marks here and say fixed interval. So it can go every million or it can go every 100,000. So you can see here I'm going by every 1,000, or I can type in automatic and it can go by the millions. Or we can say none, and now there's no ticks on the bottom. All right, so if I want to go by millions, maybe I want to go by 500,000s or 250,000, then we can just type that in, 250, oops, 250, comma, 000. And there you go. So now it's saying 0.3, 0.5, 0.8. Yeah, maybe we'll go 200, 000. And you can kind of play around with that and click enter. And now it's not as busy. Now, the last thing is to get rid of this title. I can go into general and just erase this word sales here, and then that will disappear down there. And now our chart's pretty good. The only other thing I might change is the font size of the region. So I can right click that, format, and go into the font label, make that a little bit bigger. So it's, yeah, maybe 15. That was under totals. I should be under default and change the font setting to 14 or 15. There you go. We can make that bold if we want. Okay, and there you go. There you have it. Then we can click preview, and that chart is exactly what we built in class today in 7 minutes. Awesome. I'm going to make another video. You can watch part 2 for how we create the line chart.